Have you ever wished there was, a smarter way, a shortcut maybe, to launch ideas quickly, effectively, without just pouring time and money down the drain?
It's a constant challenge, isn't it? Trying to figure out what will actually stick.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into something that really shook up how people think about building businesses. Eric Ries' book from 2011, The Lean Startup.
Oh yeah, hugely influential, still is.
Our mission here is to unpack that core methodology,
Hmm.
show how businesses can learn from customers and build things that last.
Build sustainably, yeah. It's a key concept.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Right. So the absolute core, the foundation of Reese's whole approach is what he calls the build, measure, learn loop.
Build, measure, learn. Okay.
Yeah. And it starts with the minimum viable product, the MVP.
Right, MVP. We hear that term all the time.
We do. But it's key to understand what he means by it. It's not just a stripped-down product. It's really the smallest possible experiment you can run to test a fundamental belief about your business idea. Ah, okay. So not the product itself, but an experiment.
Precisely. You build that experiment, the MVP, super quickly. Then you measure how real customers, actual users, respond to it. And then, the crucial part, you learn. You figure out what's working, what isn't.
So it's less about launching something perfect right out of the gate and more about launching the fastest way to learn something real. That does flip the script on risk.
Completely.
But here's where it gets really interesting. So what does learning truly mean here? It's not just like collecting comment cards, is it?
No, much more rigorous. Rieskus calls it validated learning.
Validated learning. Okay.
Yeah. The idea is that every single feature, every update, every marketing campaign even, shouldn't just be a guess. It needs to be treated as a formal
Or
experiment,
an experiment. How so?
designed to give you hard, measurable data, insights, not just opinions. Think of it like running a scientific test. Your hypothesis is your business idea, your users the subjects, and their behavior is the data you collect.
Data-driven decisions from day one. Exactly. And after you run these experiments, you hit this critical fork in the road. Pivot or persevere.
Pivot or persevere. So change direction or keep going.
Basically, yeah. If the data blows up your initial assumptions, you pivot. You make a significant change in strategy. If the data backs you up, you persevere,
Yeah.
you double down on what's working.
Okay.
What's fascinating here is how it encourages a truly scientific approach to innovation. It pushes you to be adaptable, to respond to reality, not just your initial vision.
That sounds, really powerful. But couldn't that lead to just constant chopping and changing?
Yeah.
Pivot fatigue. How do you keep things stable?
That's a really important point, and the framework tries to address that because the pivot isn't just a whim, it's a structured decision.
Based on the validated learning, the data.
Right, it's not gut feel alone. And the scientific mindset, it doesn't just change the product, it changes how you even track progress, especially early on. That's where innovation accounting comes in.
Yeah, innovation accounting. So different books.
Sort of. Instead of focusing only on traditional stuff like profit or revenue right away, which might be zero for a startup, you track your learning. You track customer engagement.
Like how many people actually use that new feature.
Exactly. Or completed the sign-up. Those learning metrics become your key performance indicators because they show you're actually making progress towards something people want. It fuels sustainable growth.
Okay, that makes sense.
And this is supported by practical things like continuous deployment, pushing out updates constantly, maybe multiple times a day, and split testing or A/B testing.
Showing different versions to different users to see what works best.
Precisely. Always testing, always learning, always iterating based on real data.
I can definitely see the value. Reducing risk, making sure you're building something people actually care about. Not just features you think are cool.
Bingo. Avoid so much wasted effort.
And it feels like this isn't just for tech startups in Silicon Valley, is it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it got famous there, sure. But the core principles, they're valuable for anyone trying to innovate. Entrepreneurs, product managers, even big established companies trying new things.
Any industry, really.
Pretty much, yeah. Manufacturing, education, nonprofits, business students definitely need to know it. That said, it's not without its critics, it's fair to say.
Okay, what are some of the counter arguments?
Well, some argue it can be a bit idealistic, maybe harder to apply perfectly in, say, heavily regulated industries where you can't just whip up an MVP easily or cheaply.
Medicine or finance, maybe?
Could be. Others feel some concepts get repeated a bit in the book, or that maybe its applicability outside fast-moving software is sometimes, perhaps, overstated. This raises an important question. how adaptable are these concepts, really, when you face the messy complexities of different sectors?
That's a fair question. But even with those nuances, the core message seems incredibly powerful, doesn't it? Learn fast, fail fast, succeed faster.
That's the essence of it. It gives you a framework, a kind of map for navigating the fog of uncertainty that comes with anything new.
A structured way to learn your way forward.
Yeah. And maybe think about this. What if you took that core idea, iterative learning adaptability based on feedback, beyond just products?
How do you mean?
Well, what if you treated other parts of your life, maybe your career path or even personal projects, as experiments, constantly building a little, measuring the results, learning, and being willing to pivot based on what you learn, applying that validated learning to, well, everything.
Applying that scientific, adaptable mindset to your own goals, your own path.
Yeah.
That's definitely something to think about.